But the game that I'm circling right now is 49ers Dolphins. Not so much because of the team's records and their incredible starts to the season, but because of the head coaches and all that comes with it. This is a segment we call Back in Time. Take it away. We may very well have a Super Bowl preview on our hands in San Francisco this weekend, and it's more than just two red-hot teams riding multi-game winning streaks. No, this one's personal, and this one goes back many, many years. It's Dolphins 49ers. Let's go back in time. Yes, these two teams played in a Super Bowl in the 1980s, and it was Dan Marino, fresh off one of the all-time great regular seasons, getting outclassed by Joe Montana, who went on to win the second of his 4 Super Bowl rings. But Sunday's battle between the 49ers and the Dolphins is more about recent history and family and friendships and all the overlap and intersecting between two teams that not only mirror each other in style and form, but in high quality of play. This one starts in 1993. The Denver Broncos, Shannon Sharpe, Steve Atwater, John Elway, and Robert Del Pino. Who? Robert Del Pino was a running back on the 1993 Broncos, and as the story goes, a 10-year-old kid was at training camp in Greeley, Colorado, and that 10-year-old kid was jockeying for position to get an autograph from Robert Del Pino when that kid's hat went missing. The hat was gone forever, but a Broncos staffer named Gary McCune felt so bad about it that he went to a nearby mall and bought the kid a new hat, giving it to him the next day. That kid was Mike McDaniel. McCune, the Broncos staffer, ended up meeting McDaniel's mother. The two fell in love, and as they say, the rest is history. McDaniel, with his new hat, was forever a Broncos fan from that point on. And when Mike Shanahan took over, McDaniel became the Broncos ball boy. The Shanahans and McDaniel were linked from that point on. Kyle Shanahan had Mike McDaniel as an assistant in Houston. He brought him with him to Washington, and to Cleveland, and to Atlanta. He then brought him to San Francisco when Kyle Shanahan got the head coaching gig. Mike McDaniel was an offensive assistant under Kyle Shanahan for 5 seasons in the Bay, and all told, Mike McDaniel worked under Kyle Shanahan for 14 different NFL seasons. The two have known each other for close to 3 decades. When Mike McDaniel got the head coaching job in Miami last January, he started assembling his staff. He went right to San Francisco. He hired John Embry, the 49ers' former tight ends and assistant head coach. He hired Wes Welker, the former NFL legend who'd worked in San Francisco as the 49ers wide receivers coach the last 3 years. He hired former 49ers lineman Mike Person. He hired Aldrick Robinson, the former NFL wide receiver and Shanahan mainstay in Washington, Atlanta, and San Francisco. Then he got him some players. He went and signed Raheem Mostert, the undrafted 49ers running back who famously ran for 220 yards and 4 touchdowns in an NFC Championship blowout win over Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. The Dolphins signed Trent Sherfield, a 49ers wide receiver from last year. They signed River Craycraft, who spent time in San Francisco as well. And at the trading deadline, the Dolphins went and got Jeff Wilson Jr., who might end up being their lead back during this stretch run. There's one extra wrinkle to this, too, and has nothing to do with Mike McDaniel. Who'd the 49ers trade all those picks to when they went up and got Trey Lance in the 2021 draft? The Dolphins. With those picks Miami acquired, they maneuvered to make moves to end up getting 2021 first-round pick Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, and Bradley Chubb. See, the 49ers and Dolphins could very well be on a collision course for Super Bowl 57 in Arizona. This could end up being part 1. Let's just say the two teams know each other very, very well.